Hey guys, it's Sue here, and today I want to talk about something super exciting, and that is destination weddings. I just had a message came through to me from a makeup artist who has just been asked to fly to an amazing destination to look after somebody's makeup for her wedding. She's super excited, as you would be, who wouldn't be, and she's just a little bit unsure about how to quote on the job. And I see this question pop up a lot. And interestingly, often people think that, oh, I get to fly to this amazing destination, I should offer a discount. So I'm going to talk today about how to quote for a destination wedding. But before we talk about quoting for the wedding, there are a couple of other things that you want to consider first. Now, you know me, I'm one of those people that always recommends you have all your T's crossed and I's dotted and make sure everything is all okay. So the first thing to think about here is wherever she has asked you to fly to look after her wedding, can you legally work there? Because obviously if you're flying in from Australia or America or England or wherever to go and do this wedding, you're actually taking a job off a local person. Now there's a reason why she's asked you, and we'll come to that in a moment. But please consider that you may not legally be allowed to work in that country. So bear that in mind when you are filling out those little forms, when you arrive into a country, and when you're talking to the people at customs and immigration. Probably the best way around this is to just say that you are going as a guest to the wedding. Obviously, if you're taking a massive big makeup kit, they might question that, but you can say that you're her friend or her cousin or her long lost sister twice removed, and you're doing it as a favor. So definitely bear that in mind. Be very careful about saying you are going there to work on somebody's wedding. The second thing to think about is, does your insurance cover you when you are working overseas? Your public and products liability insurance, and also your kit insurance. Now, you might be able to insure your kit on your travel insurance, which you should obviously get, but think about your public and products liability. So that might mean a phone call to your insurance broker or your insurance company just to find out about that. Okay, so now we've got those little legal things out of the way. Let's talk about how you actually go about quoting the job. Now, when we think about a destination wedding, we think about how exciting it is, and you can probably already taste that cocktail that you're going to be sipping on the beach. And sometimes people get tempted to discount their prices because they're going to such an exciting tropical island or whatever. But think about it this way. Someone that is having a destination wedding is not a budget bride. Okay, she's flying overseas to have her wedding, so she's spending a lot of money already. Now, I started my career doing destination weddings. I did over 300 of them, so I know destination brides, and they are not your bargain basement discount seeking bride. Now, there's a reason that the bride has asked you to quote for her wedding. She's not familiar with the people in that country and how they do makeup. Even if you haven't worked with her before, and chances are you have, and that's why she's asked you to quote on the wedding, but she's probably familiar with your work. She doesn't want to risk the day that she is going to be photographed more than any other day in her life, one of the most important days of her life. She doesn't want to risk her face on that day to someone she doesn't know, and she might not even speak their language. Now, she can probably rely on Uncle Bill with his super duper camera if the local photographer doesn't do a great job, but she's got to wear that face of makeup around all day. And it's not like she can just skip on down to Mecca or the local Mac counter to get her makeup done there if she's not happy with what the local makeup artist has done. So that's another reason why you should not discount just because you're getting to go to some fantastic location. So get those ideas out of your head straight away. You obviously deserve to be paid for doing the job just as you would normally be paid if you are at home. So I say definitely charge your normal rates that you would be charging if you were at home. The other option is, and this is particularly useful if you are going to a tropical destination, is you might want to charge her a day rate for the wedding day with a minimum or maximum number of people that you can look after, but stay with her around the wedding day. I mean, you're probably going to be stuck in that location anyway. So you might as well get paid a little bit more by following her around. Now I say particularly if this is a tropical destination, because of course you've got to consider how is the makeup going to wear. So if she's not from a tropical climate, she might not be aware that, the makeup might not travel as well as it normally would in her home place. So she might want to think about having you there along with her to do any necessary touch-ups. So we've covered her paying for the actual wedding day makeup and or hairstyling. The other thing is you're obviously going to be traveling. So she should be paying for your travel days the day before and the day after. And you're probably going to need to obviously stay overnight. So definitely look at charging her for at least 2 nights of accommodation. So 1 night before and 1 night after, or the day of the wedding. So she should be paying for those as well. Goes without saying, she pays for your flights. She should also be paying the ground transportation or the transfers from the destination airport to the resort. And we talked about accommodation. You don't want her putting you up in some budget price flea pit down the road. You want to be staying at the same resort that she is staying at. So I would definitely stipulate that in your quote. The other thing to be mindful of is that make sure you ask for your own room. So you don't want her to be putting you in a room with one of the single bridesmaids or bunking you with a photographer or some other supplier that she might be flying over as well. So you want to have your own room there. In terms of food, yeah, definitely that should be part of the whole accommodation package. So, charge all the food to your room. So make sure you state that as well. And as I said, and the transfers as well. So the other thing that you want to think about is, often people think, oh, this is a really good opportunity. I'm going to that place. I'd really like to have a bit of a holiday there. And that's great. So you might want to extend your stay, but if you do, don't expect the bride to pay for your extended day unless obviously she wants you to be working, if she's going to do some other sort of a photo shoot or something while she's there as well. So if you do want to stay on other than just the night before and the night after, then obviously you would take care of the accommodation and the food for that time as well. Now, the other thing is make sure that you do keep receipts for everything that you pay for while you're away, because when you come back, you can take those receipts and speak to your accountant about that. And a good accountant will be able to get most of those expenses as a deduction, or at least get you a living away from home allowance. Now, I know whenever I've traveled for work, I've just kept all the receipts and listed them all down and called it kind of travel expenses. Talked to my accountant about that, and she does her little magic thing and gets them as deductibles. All right, so hopefully that covers how to quote for traveling for a destination wedding. Obviously, then there is how to pack your kit, and that's a whole nother kettle of fish, which I'm not going to get into right here. If you want me to do a live about that at some point, just let me know. So if you've got any other hints and tips about doing destination weddings, flying for weddings, and how to quote those jobs, pop them in the comments down below. Also, if you do have any questions as well about destination weddings, or it doesn't even have to be weddings, but just flying overseas, interstate, or whatever for jobs, pop those down into the comments below as well. Feel free to share this video out into other groups, share it onto your page as well. And if you would like to have my hints and tips delivered directly to your inbox each week, then you can go to suelouise.com/list to join my weekly newsletter list. So thank you so much for the question, Taylor. I hope this has answered the question for you. And thanks everyone for watching, and bye for now.